Nobody expected the future of the British monarchy to start falling apart behind closed palace doors, but that is exactly what insiders now believe is happening. For years, the royal family managed to survive scandals, betrayals, public outrage, and bitter divisions without completely losing control. Every crisis was hidden behind royal tradition, carefully rehearsed appearances, and statements designed to calm the public before panic could spread too far. But this time feels different. This time, the tension inside Buckingham Palace is no longer being whispered about quietly by royal staff. It is becoming impossible to hide. And at the center of it all stands King Charles, a man who waited almost his entire life to wear the crown, only to find his reign consumed by illness, scandal, and a family tearing itself apart from within. According to people close to palace circles, the situation exploded after a furious confrontation between Charles and Queen Camilla, an argument so severe it allegedly changed the balance of power inside the monarchy forever. Charles, already weakened by ongoing health battles and endless pressure surrounding the Andrew scandal, reportedly reached a point where he could no longer tolerate internal conflict around him. The arrest of Andrew Mountbatten Windsor sent shockwaves through Britain unlike anything seen in years. The accusations tied to Jeffrey Epstein reopened old wounds the royal family had spent years trying to bury. Questions about what senior royals knew, when they knew it, and why stronger action was never taken suddenly returned with full force. Public anger spread quickly across television, newspapers, and social media. Every appearance made by members of the royal family was analyzed. Every silence became suspicious. Every carefully chosen statement felt colder than the last. But while the palace fought desperately to protect its reputation outside those gates, insiders claim another battle was unfolding privately behind them. Prince William reportedly stepped into the chaos with a level of authority that surprised even senior palace aides. Meetings began running through his office. Public responses were shaped by his advisors. Key decisions started landing directly on his desk while Charles focused more heavily on his health and treatment. Staff working inside royal operations allegedly noticed a shift immediately. William was no longer behaving like a future king waiting patiently in line. He was behaving like a man already preparing to lead. And beside him stood Catherine, calm, focused, and increasingly viewed by palace officials as a steady public face the monarchy desperately needed during one of its darkest periods in modern history. But the real breaking point reportedly came because of Camilla. While the royal family was trying to create distance between itself and anybody connected to the growing scandal, Camilla allegedly continued private contact with figures William believed could damage the institution even further. To her, those relationships were personal loyalties built over decades. To William, they represented a threat to the crown at the worst possible moment. Palace insiders claim William confronted the situation directly, making it clear that nobody, regardless of title, status, or marriage to the king, would be allowed to place the monarchy at greater risk. What shocked many people inside the palace was not William's anger, but Charles's response. Instead of defending Camilla completely, reports suggest Charles sided with his son. For Camilla, the humiliation was enormous. After decades spent enduring public hatred, rebuilding her image, and standing beside Charles through every attack aimed at their relationship, she suddenly found herself isolated inside the very institution she had fought so hard to become part of. People close to palace staff claimed the atmosphere between Camilla and the Wales household became icy almost overnight. Invitations reportedly changed. Meetings no longer included her automatically. Decisions began moving around her instead of through her. Even during public appearances, the difference in public attention became impossible to ignore. Wherever Catherine appeared, crowds focused on her immediately. Cameras followed her movements. Headlines praised her confidence and warmth. Camilla had spent years trying to earn public respect, and in many ways she succeeded. But the admiration Catherine received seems to exist on an entirely different level. That contrast is said to have created enormous private frustration behind palace walls. Some insiders even claim Camilla began feeling as though the monarchy was slowly preparing for life after Charles while he was still alive. And perhaps the most painful part of all is the growing belief that Charles himself may understand exactly what is happening. For years he dreamed about the reign he would finally have after waiting longer than any heir in British history. Yet instead of enjoying stability, his time as king has become overshadowed by cancer treatments, collapsing public trust, family scandal, and whispers that William is already taking control behind the scenes.